let's talk about my wild card team a little bit here. So I took into consideration a lot of the stuff that we just went over. I played my wild card this week. I wanted to keep it. The plan was to keep it, but dude, my team was doing so bad. I'm tied with Gash. For fuck's sake, man! Like I got to get my stuff together.
He's lucky. He's very lucky. Finished above in the past 2 seasons, everyone.
So yeah, I decided to play the wild card this week. Like I said, I would have loved to hold on to it, but in FPL, sometimes you got to realize, and when things aren't going, sometimes you just got to take that leap and do it and switch it up. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I kept my goalkeepers the same, Ryan and Walton. I considered bringing in Emi Martinez, but his situation with his backups is a little murky. They're both I can't think of their names right now, but both the backups are pretty well rated, and it's not exactly clear who the number 2 is. So I couldn't do the 4.5, 4.0 backup strategy there. And then I considered having 2 4.5 keepers and rotating them, but I didn't want to have to. That's like flipping a coin every week and hoping you get it right. And I don't trust myself to do that. I just wanted a set and forget keeper with his backup. So there we go. Kept that the same. Still held on to Mitchell. It looks like he's going to be playing for a couple weeks for Palace. And when he stops playing, he's a 4.0. So it's not costing me any sleep. I brought in Dunn, another 4.0. He's been getting some minutes. Again, he's a 4.0. I'm playing 3 defenders most of the time. Don't expect much from him at all. Lamptey I brought in, so I was really stuck between Lamptey and KWP. But I went Lamptey. His offensive numbers looked a little better. And as always, I don't have the specific stats in front of me, but I went through them this week, and Lamptey excited me a little bit more. I'm sticking with that double Liverpool, Robertson and Trent. Liverpool's defenses looked a little shakier in years past. Might not get those clean sheets, but with Thiago in and maybe solidifying that midfield now, maybe that'll change in the coming weeks. So yeah, still feeling good about that. And then I brought Salah back in. I had him for game week 1, took him out, and decided that he's going to be my guy for the foreseeable future. I was also thinking between him and Mane. That's another tough decision, kind of like the KDB Sterling decision. I think that's a similar toss up there, but I'm going Salah. I'm going with De Bruyne, of course, going with Foden, as I talked about before, and Podence, as I talked about before, and James, as I talked about before, so won't really touch on them anymore. Werner, I just talked about, feeling good about him still. And then Che Adams, is he unlucky or is he bad? I was hoping that he's unlucky, so I'm just giving him a couple more weeks because with the amount of chances he's getting at 5.9, he's still worth holding on to and worth giving that chance, in my opinion. I do have the 0.1 in the bank, so I could have upgraded him the 0.1 to Mitrovic at 6.0. But Adams is getting more touches in the box and more attempts, so I'm just feeling better about that. And Mitrovic, they could not get the ball to him. They could not get him any service towards the end of that second half this weekend. I just don't trust Fulham to be able to involve him in their attack on a consistent enough basis. He's a solid player. He's fun to watch. He's a really like a complete number 9 that you expect. But I just don't see Fulham giving him the service, so I stuck with Adams. And then I wanted a Leeds cover, so I went with Bamford. Again, debated on him a lot because I wanted like maybe Klitsch in the midfield, or maybe is it Klitsch or Cleach, whatever. I wanted him in the midfield. I wanted Costa in the midfield. Maybe I was shuffling it around a lot, but once I went with Podence, I knew I wanted my Leeds cover still, so I went with Bamford up front. He is somebody that might get replaced in the coming weeks. They just signed Rodrigo for like £44 million, I believe. So you don't spend £44 million on somebody just to ride the bench. So he's definitely part of the plans for Bielsa moving forward. But as long as Bamford has a spot, I'll keep using Bamford, and I'll be able to possibly upgrade him to Rodrigo because there's only like a 0.2 difference in their prices right now. So with a couple of price rises, I should have that in the bank, and I can even do that if it looks like that's happening. So yeah, that's my wildcard team. Like I said, I had to do it. Just sometimes you just got to pull the trigger and go for it. So that's what I did, and there it is.